Hello everyone, it's Lindsay, and today I'm back with another process video for you guys using the newest kit from Creative Retreat Kits. This is Acts of Prayer for the month of June. This one was written by Julie. I do have an unboxing of this kit and the add-ons and things over on my channel. I'll link that down below if you want to see everything that came with this release. There's some extra bonus goodies you can add on, some printables, things like that. So last month, I started out the month by journaling with the kit in my growth journal, and I absolutely love that process. It gave me a place to have all of my reflection questions in one place, and so I thought I would start off this month the exact same way. And this also gives some inspiration for some ways to journal with these kits outside of Bible journaling. I know Bible journaling isn't for everybody, and so I wanted to do this as an encouragement of a different way to use the products. It does not have to be in your Bible, and it's just, kind of a fun place to have all of your reflection questions in one place. So I already went ahead and cut out my reflection questions from the devotional content. If you want some information about the devotional and what it's about, many of the other team members have been posting videos already, kind of walking through their journey through the kit. And so you can kind of get some information about that. But I wanted to just start out with answering the questions and giving myself some room to really dig and journal and write lots of verses and things like that. I have been loving so far this summer just spending a lot more time using cross references and word studies and things like that. So I want to go a little bit deeper than just, picking a title, writing out a prayer, doing something pretty and calling it good. Nothing wrong with that, but I just want a place that I can kind of do more writing and less of the pretty artwork part. But we're still going to do pretty artwork part. So I have here the kit stickers. I have the printables. So I'm going to use a few of the printable elements that you can purchase as an add-on. I'm going to be using the amazing tie-dye stencil. Lots of different ways you can use the stencil. I'll link a Tip Tuesday down below talking about stencils and how to use different products with stencils to get good results. Today I'm going to be using Distress Oxide inks just because I like how they blend, and I am kind of limited on the foam blenders I have. So you could definitely do the same technique using the Creative Retreat inks. I just don't have enough dome blenders to use these inks. So I already have dome blenders set aside for my oxides. These are the only reason that I'm using these over the Creative Retreat inks today. I know a couple of the other gals on the team did do something similar with the Creative Retreat inks. So you can see how those blend. They're great for that. So I'll be listing the colors down below of the ones that coordinate with this kit, but I'm going to be using Distress Oxide inks. So we're just going to create like a little bit of a background just to add some color, give myself some journaling spots, and then I will do all of my reflection off camera as I go into my study. But I wanted to kind of show you how I set this up in my journal. So let me go ahead, put you guys on fast forward, and we'll put together this journal spread.
All right, so of course we're going to start with that amazing stencil. It's just way too much fun. So what I have here is mustard seed, broken china, and picked raspberry Distress Oxide inks, and then I'm just blending through the stencil. I have used the stencil a few different times. I've tried a couple different techniques, and there really is no wrong way to use it. Whether you go through and do like one full color and then rotate it and do another color and then rotate it and do another color, or do like I'm doing here where I'm doing, sections of color. I mean, it's all going to give you different looks, but it comes out amazing. This is like the coolest stencil I've ever had, I think. So I'm using just those three colors, and by overlapping and blending, I'm getting oranges and purples and greens when I blend those three colors together. I am getting a little bit of mud, but I'm not too worried about that. Now, when I go to rotate the stencil and use it a second time, I'm making sure that I'm cleaning it off in between applications of ink, or I'm just going to end up with a big muddy mess because these inks stay wet on top of the surface, and so you can kind of pick up and transfer, and it would just be a big muddy mess. So if you just clean periodically, no matter what inks that you're using or mediums that you're using, just make sure you're cleaning your stencil frequently as you rotate and turn it, and then that way you get less mud. You can see I'm getting a little bit of gray mud, but that's okay. Not too stressed about it. You can flip it around, use it upside down. I mean, it's so much fun, and it's kind of like real tie-dye, right? Like you never really know what you're going to get. You think you know what you're going to get when you're, tying things off and dipping it and squirting the color on there. Like you have an idea in mind, but unless you were like a professional tie-dye person, if you're like me, you wing it, and however it comes out, that's what you get, right? You get what you get. You don't throw a fit. That's a big line in my house with my kids. So I'm going to do the same thing with the stencil in 3 main focal points, and I'm kind of changing up what I start with. So you'll see the first little cluster I started with the yellow. This one I'm starting with the pink, just so that they kind of change up and look a little bit different. You can just leave it the one application, like in that top right hand corner. I didn't rotate it. I just did the one like orientation. I will come back and add some more, but depending on how elaborate or how simple that you want it, is how many times that you rotate the stencil. You could go wild with this. This is like the coolest thing ever. I'm having so much fun with this stencil. So this is just gonna, again, add some color. This is kind of the fun part in the background. And then now I can go in and start adding my elements to create some spots to journal in, right? We're going to do the work part of it. So I'm just going through and cutting little fishtail banners. Like I said, I cut apart the reflection questions from the devotional content. That's where I got that word reflection. And then that daisy washi is from the printable set. And so I'm just kind of staging things for the moment. I do decide to go ahead and put the title of this month's kit on here. That way, when I'm flipping through this journal, I know that this is, which kit this is, because I plan on doing multiple different things in this journal. In this growth journal, this is where I put study notes, sermon notes, prayers. I'm doing a chronological reading plan. So as I take notes, I take those notes in here. The growth journal is just a good place to just dump all your thoughts into one place. I'm really enjoying this thing. I will have it linked down below for you guys. You could also do something very similar in the prayer journals that Creative Retreat just released in their shop. Those are super awesome because they smell like apples. So those are smaller scaled, but you could do something similar in those as well. So now I can start committing to some things. I left the numbers on my questions until I was ready to stick them down onto the page. And then I'm going to create little clusters. So I'm using the floral stamp. The stamp does have a solid colored piece as well, but I'm just going to leave them looking like white daisies. So I'm using the outline and then just going back in with the center element and using that mustard seed yellow to stamp at the center. And then I pulled out some older Creative Retreat stickers, some little like tile alphas and numbers, and I'm using those to actually number the questions. So once I cut off the number, I'm going to go use the sticker as my number. And then this black and white washi was just a washi. I think it's a Maggie Holmes washi that I had at my stash. I love the punctuation and the contrast of the black with these bright, vibrant colors of the kit. So I wanted to kind of stick with that. And so my clusters are going to be the same. I'm not overthinking this. Again, I want most of my time in this spent doing the study and the verse writing and that kind of thing, not fussing about techniques and layout and composition and all of that. I'm just trying to stick to simple, but also creating focal points to break up all my notes. I am a very big, loopy, messy, I have big, loopy, messy handwriting. And so when I take notes, they kind of get a little crazy. And so these are creating little focal areas to separate the different questions that I'll be answering. The last question is asking you to journal an Acts-style prayer. And so I pulled out this journaling card and I actually created a hinge with that washi tape so that I could journal the prayer underneath the card. And then I'll add definitions to the front of the card for each one of those words for the Acts acrostic style prayers. And at the end of this video, you'll see a quick look at this layout all filled out so you can see how I did that. But just making sure that I have plenty of room to do the journaling because that's what's important for me. At this point, I felt like I had some big focal points of color, but it seemed a little off balance. So I went ahead and just smushed some of the ink out onto an acrylic block, added some water, and then I'm adding some splatters. You can do the same thing with the Creative Retreat inks as well. You can do this, smush them out on a block, add some water, and create paint out of it, basically. You could do the same thing. Really, really messy, but that's okay. You can see here, plenty of room for journaling. I created this little tip-in to journal a private prayer underneath. And then in a second here, you'll be able to see after I fill it all in, I went in and journaled verses and notes and definitions and prayers and all the things, just went crazy right over the top of everything that I had created there. You can see I mix and match some of the stickers from the kit and then my own just journaling in there. So I hope that gives you some inspiration for a different way to use the kit. If you have any questions or comments, be sure to leave those down below. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. And until next time, thank you so much. Bye-bye.